All right, we back. Um, as you can see, this we finna talk about. We talk about Dragon Ball. Um, one of my favorite animes of all time. Um, so they put or they mock us or they put our story into these different uh movies, games, and TV shows, right? Um, let's go ahead and get into it. Let me show you what I'm talking about. All right, so 7 Dragon Balls, all right? And they get these 7 Dragon Balls, they collect them, and then they make a they summon the dragon, right? And then they make a wish, any wish they want. All right. Now I think about the 7 candlesticks when I see the 7 Dragon Balls. All right. Um. Now we pray to get what we want. We pray to Tata and Zombie to get what we want, right? Yambe, yeah. Okay. Um. We ask them for things. All right. So think about that. Um, now they have a being called Zeno in here, right? But they depict him as a little kid. Uh, Now every time I look at Zeno clothing, I always think of the Kosa people. Why? I don't know. Um, but I was looking at the Kosa symbols, and this kind of looks similar to this right here. All right. Um, so for Kosa, this little uh time symbol, whatever you want to call it, means war and hostility. All right. Then when I put this together, I always think that Tata Zombie is a god of war. All right. Um. So right here it says Grand Zeno, the Omni King, is the supreme ruler of the multiverse and its most powerful being. All right. Ruler of the multiverse and its most powerful being. All right. It's a coastal man right here. All right. Now I noticed this about the angels in Dragon Ball Super. Um, they have a little halo, and they have his staff. So when I look at the halo, I'm thinking about the crown the Zulu be wearing. And I look at the staff, I look at the Zulu staff. You see the little ball. I just find that interesting. I just find it. I don't know. I find it. That's what they talking about. They taking our culture or something. I don't know. Maybe I'm reaching. All right. But Zulu means heaven, right? So Ba Zulu means the people of heaven. All right. So the Zulu people, Ba Zulu, all right, people of heaven. All right. So all these Zulu staffs right here. And you see right here, the coastal man got a staff. All right. See right here it says the native name is Unkweli. It is well known as a crown for the Ndebele and Zulu warriors. They used to wear it when they were going to war. All right. They used to wear this when they were going to war. All right. Hmm. Now, let's talk about the Saiyans' home planet. Okay. So the Saiyans supposedly came from Sadala first. Okay, a planet called Sadala. Every time I look at this word Sadala, I be like, they look like a word from the Niger Congo languages. Okay. I can't pinpoint it, but I'm pretty sure it has a meaning among our people, the Niger Congo family. Um Says right here. Let me read right here. It says Sadala. Okay, planet Vegeta was not the native planet of the Saiyans, but planet Sadala was, and they only relocated to planet Vegeta after Sadala's destruction. All right. So this planet Vegeta right here. All right. And there's Frieza and his ships coming in by the grid to destroy. No, not Frieza. Matter of fact, that might be the Saiyans coming in. I don't know. But I think that's Frieza Force. We look right here. So Vegeta says it to Kaba. It's the Saiyan named Kaba from Universe 6. And he says, Vegeta says, no, after planet Sadala Sala was annihilated in a bout of infighting, we stole a different planet, which we named Planet Vegeta. All right. Okay, so on Planet Vegeta, they say the original inhabitants were the Tuffles. All right. It was a highly advanced technological race of beings native to planet Plant. The planet is later taken over by the Saiyans, leaving the Tuffles extinct in Universe 7. However, their race still exists in Universe 2, as seen in the Tournament of Power, as well as in Universe 6. All right. Read right here. All right. So, however, the Saiyans were treated poorly, essentially like slaves or second-class citizens by the Tuffles, and forced to live in harsh badlands of Planet Plant. So, when the Saiyans got to Planet Stala, they increased in number, and then the Tuffles started to treat them differently. All right. The conflict reached a general stalemate since, though they possessed great strength, the Saiyans were vastly outnumbered by the Tuffle populace. All right. So the Tuffles, to me, could either be Canaanites, could be depicting Canaanites, or could be depicting uh some other nation. Probably Esau. Could be depicting Esau too. All right. But this right here, okay. So the Freiza race, they're called frost demons, all right? And the lineage of evil, all right? In the Dragon Ball series, all right? Uh this right here, they're called Frost Lords, are the extraterrestrial species that Frieza and his family belong to. They are infamous across the universe for the Frost Demon royal family's tyranny in the form of the Frost Demon Empire. In all the universes seen so far, Frost Demons were nearly extinct, with only King Cold, Prince Cooler, and Prince Frieza being the sole surviving members. Though in many universes, Frost Demons became completely extinct after they were defeated by Son Goku. All right. So the Frost Demons went around the galaxy conquering and colonizing, which sounds very familiar. All right. Think about the Europeans. Uh, Most specifically, the descendants of the Romans. All right. Uh, went to Australia. They went to the Americas. Went conquering everything. All right. Yeah. Now, this right here, okay. So the Frieza feared the Saiyans because of their potential to overthrow his empire, and especially because of the story of the Saiyan of legend, representing a messiah of sorts. Okay. Frieza focused more on the Saiyans rather than the other species because of the danger the Saiyans presented to him and his people. All right. Um. Now, Frieza's father, King Cold, was the first to rule over the Saiyans. Okay. Then Frieza ended up taking over later. All right. That was according to the Brawly movie, Dragon Ball Super Brawly movie. All right.
Huh? The Saiyans! What do you know about them, King Kai?
What do you mean, what does he know about them? King Kai knows everything!
There, Gregory. Goku, you told me earlier that you too are a Saiyan, am I correct?
Huh?
Yeah. But I don't know anything about the Saiyans.
You see, they sent me to Earth when I was just a baby.
Ah, well then. I can probably tell you a few things about the things that you don't know.
Wow, really?
Mm-hmm.
Hold on.
Ah, how kind of you. I feel like a king. Yes. Now, a long time ago, before you were born, there were two tribes that lived on planet Vegeta. There were your ancestors, the Saiyans, and the other tribe was known as the Tuffles.
The Saiyans and the Tuffles, huh?
That's correct. Now, the Tuffles were a so-called advanced civilization. They had cities much like the ones on Earth and enjoyed all of the modern conveniences such as air travel and mini-malls. They had long ago outgrown energy sources which polluted their planet and were enjoying health and prosperity. Not far from the big cities, in the arid wastelands of Vegeta, the Saiyans lived in primitive fashion. They were much larger in size than the Tuffles, but much smaller in number. One thing all Saiyans had in common was that they all had tails. Another was their brutal and violent nature. They loved to fight. But because they were so few in number, the Tuffles never worried about the Saiyans. That is until the day they attacked. And so the Great War for Planet Vegeta began. With the element of surprise in their favor, the Saiyans quickly gained a strong foothold in the war against the Tuffles. The Tuffles had technology on their side. They had devices that measured the enemy's fighting power and advanced weaponry which they used to hold the Saiyans at bay. Though few in number, the Saiyan strength was so incredible that they too won their fair share of the battles. And just when it seemed that there was no end in sight to this horrible war, something happened on Vegeta that only happens there once every 8 years. There was a full moon, a decisive factor in the war for Planet Vegeta. As you must know, Saiyans have the ability to transform into huge ape-like creatures when the moon is full.
Let's get out of here!
It didn't take long for these monsters to destroy the Tuffles and their advanced civilization. But then a new problem began for the Saiyans. Without the technology of the Tuffles, the Saiyans couldn't travel in space. This meant they couldn't satisfy the one desire that they all shared, the desire to fight. I'm sure you've heard the joke, how many Saiyans does it take to build a rocket ship?
No.
It's a really good one.
Later, King Kai.
Fine. Well, not far away, the Saiyans met the Arcosians. Now, the Arcosians had money and technology, but the planet Arcos was a dump, so they hired the Saiyans to conquer a planet for them. An unholy partnership was formed. With Saiyan might and Arcosian ingenuity combined, they formed a fleet of planet pirates. The plan that these two sinister races hatched meant that there was nothing they wouldn't do to achieve their goals.
I'd like to extinguish them.
Well, all misdeeds gather their just rewards. You see, like Earth, the planet Vegeta also had a guardian. This good man used his power to attract a vast system of meteors to the planet. He could no longer tolerate the horrible burden of the Saiyans' dark deeds, so he brought destruction upon the planet, which was plagued by the weight of its inhabitants' evil. Planet Vegeta was demolished. It got kind of a major spanking, you could say, except with meteors. Only 4 Saiyans survived the destruction of Planet Vegeta, and you are one of them.
No!